Hi everyone, and welcome back to Learn Academic English. I'm Jenna, and in today's video I'm going to teach you 10 common 3-word phrasal verbs. And I'm continuing my series about phrasal verbs because phrasal verbs are one of the most difficult aspects of English for non-native speakers. They are so tricky. And all the phrasal verbs that we're going to look at today are a little different from the usual phrasal verb because they have 3 words. So all of these phrasal verbs that we're going to see will have one verb and then 2 particles. And remember that a particle is that little word that comes after the verb that changes the meaning of the verb. For example, we have the word come, and if we say come on, that's different. But in these, we're going to be looking at words like come up with. So in that one, we have the verb come, and then we have the 2 particles up with. And that, again, changes the meaning of the verb come into something completely different. So before we get started, I'd like to remind you to please give this video a like if you find it helpful. Leave a comment down below, and remember that I always ask you to practice with me and I give you feedback. And subscribe if you want more lessons for intermediate and advanced level English learners. And finally, I want to let you know that I'm going to give you a short quiz at the end of this video to help you check your knowledge. So make sure you stay until the end for that. So let's get into those 10 common 3-word phrasal verbs. And the first one is to take someone up on something. So here we have the verb take and we have the words up on. So to take someone up on something means to accept an offer. For example, I would like to take you up on your invitation to lunch if the offer still stands. Or, you should take Lucy up on her offer to help you with your taxes. She's great at anything related to accounting. The next one, it's pretty common, so you probably already know it. It is to get something over with. And to get something over with means to do something that you don't want to do something that you dread, or that you just are feeling lazy and you don't want to do it. So like many phrasal verbs, this one doesn't really have an exact synonym. When we want to say this meaning, we almost always would use this phrasal verb. For example, I hate going to the dentist, but I need to get it over with. Or, stop procrastinating and just get it over with. Just do it. Next, to come up with. Super common phrasal verb. We use this all the time, like in meetings and in classes, in school. And to come up with means to create or to think of something new. For example, what did your group come up with? I use this all the time when I'm teaching my classes. I have my students work in groups, and then after a few minutes, I ask them to share what they created or what new ideas or what answers they thought of. What did your group come up with? Or we could say, I came up with some great ideas for your birthday party. But in this situation, we probably wouldn't say I created new ideas. We wouldn't say that. I thought of some new ideas, maybe, but I came up with some great ideas is what we would almost always use here. All right, the next one is to get away with something. To get away with something means to escape capture or to do something without any result or punishment. So we usually use this when we're doing something that we shouldn't do. For example, don't lie to your boss because you'll never get away with it. Or, my kids can't get away with lying to me. I can see right through them. Okay, next, to look forward to. Now, you know this one is super common, but I included it because I often hear English learners use it incorrectly. And it is so common, so it's really important for you to know how to use it well. Look forward to means to be excited about or to be eager about something that's going to happen soon. For example, I'm really looking forward to our trip. Or, I can't wait to see you, looking forward to it. But if you want to use a noun after That's also fine, like look forward to our trip. But be careful, because if you're going to use a verb, you need to change it to the noun form. For example, I'm looking forward to celebrating your birthday with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. So don't use to see you. That's actually incorrect. The to here is a preposition, so we have to use a noun after. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay, next, to get around to. To get around to something means to do something that you've been lazy to do or you've been avoiding it. For example, I finally got around to organizing my office. It looks so much better. Or, when are you going to get around to cleaning this up? So to get around to something means to do something that you just have been avoiding or you've been lazy about. It's a little different from the other one that we looked at, which was to get something over with. To get something over with really means that it's something that you really don't want to do, that you're just dreading. But for this one, to get around to something, it just means that you just haven't done it yet. I need to make that appointment, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I just haven't done it yet. Next, to make up for. To make up for means to do something that corrects a bad situation or to compensate. So like many phrasal verbs, this is another one that we probably would use only the phrasal verb to express this meaning. For example, after so many delays, I was eager to make up for lost time. I was eager to compensate for all that time we lost. Or, the beautiful designs and low prices at IKEA make up for the low quality of their furniture. So the designs and the low prices compensate, or they make the low quality okay. Like, it's not good quality, but that's okay because the designs are good and the prices are low. Okay, next, to put up with. Super common one, you probably already know it. To put up with means to tolerate. And when we're speaking, we would use the phrasal verb put up with. We don't use the word tolerate very often. But to put up with, tolerate, for example, I can't put up with all this noise. I can't tolerate all this noise. Or, my neighbor is such a jerk. I don't know how his wife puts up with him. Okay, the next one, to take something out on someone. This is a really common phrasal verb, and it expresses a very specific situation, and we don't really have another way to express this meaning. So in order for us to express this, we always use this phrasal verb. It means to behave in an unpleasant way towards someone because you're angry or disappointed in them, but it wasn't their fault. For example, every time my son has a bad day, he takes it out on me. So what does that mean? Well, that means that there's an unpleasant situation. My son is upset or he's angry. Why? Because he had a bad day. But what does he do? He takes it out on me. This is just an example. But that means that it's not my fault, but he acts in an unpleasant way toward me because he's having those feelings of being angry or disappointed. Or, stop taking your problems out on me. Finally, to cut down on. Very common phrasal verb, you probably already use it, but to cut down on means to cut back on or to do less of something that is not good for you, or to do less of something that you're trying to quit. For example, the doctor told me that I need to cut down on fatty foods. I need to reduce fatty foods. Or, if you smoke, you should quit or cut way down. Okay, so let me just show you this example here, because this one, and some of them are like this. This one, when we have it at the end of a sentence and we don't have anything coming after it, we're actually going to drop the second particle. So to cut down, you need to cut down. You need to cut down on something. You need to cut down on fatty foods. Or, fatty foods are not good for you. You need to cut down. Okay, so now that we know those 10 phrasal verbs, let's take a short quiz. I'm going to tell you 5 sentences, and you're going to try to fill in the sentences with the phrasal verbs that we learned today, and then we'll check our answers. Number 1, I hate going to the doctor, but I need to. So in this one, you're going to have to add an object, probably the word it. Number 2, it's hard to good ideas when I'm tired. Number 3, I'm really getting away next weekend. Okay, so here getting away means to like go on a vacation or to go out of town. I'm really getting away next weekend. Number 4, I don't know how you can. That dog's non-stop barking. And number 5, I know bacon isn't good for me, so I'm trying to it. Okay, so pause the video, fill in the sentences, and then when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll check our answers. Number 1, I hate going to the doctor, but I need to get it over with. Number 2, it's hard to come up with good ideas when I'm tired. Number 3, I'm really looking forward to getting away next weekend. I'm really excited about going on vacation. Number 4, I don't know how you can put up with that dog's non-stop barking. I don't know how you can tolerate it. And finally, I know bacon isn't good for me, so I'm trying to cut down on it. And in that case, we could also just end the sentence with, I'm trying to cut down. So let me know how you did on the quiz, and I'll leave a couple of questions in the description box below so that you can practice with me. And I want you to know that I have a handout about these 3-word phrasal verbs. I'm going to leave a link to the handout below. But I'm going to be making more videos about more 3-word phrasal verbs because, as you can imagine, there are more, and there are so many phrasal verbs in English. And so make sure you come back and look for that next video about other 3-word phrasal verbs that I'll do in the near future. So let me know if you have questions. Take care, and I'll see you back here next time.